You're on record as calling for the end to the minimum wage, saying, quote, the correct minimum wage ought to be zero.
Right.
How do you think California voters currently earning the minimum wage, which is $13 to $14 an hour, would react to that?
Well, given the indoctrination that people have about the minimum wage, they probably wouldn't react to it well. I would point out that there was editorial in 1987 in the New York Times, an editorial, not op-ed piece, and the headline is correct minimum wage 0.00. And they made all the economic 101 arguments. That is that when you arbitrarily increase the cost of labor, all sorts of bad consequences come from that. People's hours are cut back. A hiring decision is deferred. Prices of goods go up in order to compensate for that forced increase in labor, which is usually the biggest cost in running any kind of business. Milton Friedman, the Nobel laureate economist, who was a friend of mine, said that he believes that the minimum wage was, quote, the most anti-Negro law on the statute books, close quote, because at one time, believe it or not, a Black teenager was more likely to be employed than a white teenager, more likely to be employed than a white adult, more likely to be employed than a Black adult, because that teenager was able to sell his labor for less. When you come in with the minimum wage, you are foreclosing the ability of people, often with little education and little skills, to get a job. I never have quite understood why a third party like government, why that government feels it's anybody's business what my relationship is with an individual who willingly sold his labor, and my relationship with that person when I willingly bought that labor. Why two people who are adults can't determine what the price of labor ought to be is beyond me. And why a third party feels it's his or her business to interfere with that is also beyond me.